Hello, welcome to this how-to video series. Today we're going to be looking at asset task plans as they relate to work orders in PubWorks. And my name is Ed Mitchell, and welcome aboard. I'd like to first be very clear about what we're referring to in this video when we're talking about a work order. We're talking about work orders in PubWorks which are scheduled or preventative maintenance, and that is found in the work order module of PubWorks. We are not referring to customer service requests or daily activities. So what is an asset task plan? An asset task plan is what allows you to create a work order for an asset. An asset task plan associates a location or location feature to a task with an optional time frame. For each combination of asset and task in PubWorks, you must have a unique task plan. Creating and maintaining your asset task plans is very simple in PubWorks, and it takes very little time. However, it is very important that you understand that if there is no asset task plan, you cannot add the asset and task combination to a work order. Neither can you add a service request to an existing work order. If after this video you still have questions regarding setting up or using asset task plans, please contact support@pubworks.com. Again, you can email support@pubworks.com, and somebody will get back to you right away. Let's look at the asset task plan and work orders. As I mentioned, that is in the work order module, and it is the bottom here, asset task plans. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to bring up our asset task plans and what we have. And I'm going to go to the list view here, and here you can see what I already have in the system. And I can sort these by task, seeing what I have for tasks such as inspections on culverts or inspections on guardrails. Or I can also sort these by feature type. So I'm going to double click the feature types, and it's going to bring things up in order. And here for my wastewater lines, I have that I want the wastewater lines jetted every 6 months. I want a sewer inspection on a ad hoc basis, or I want to repair the wastewater lines again on an ad hoc basis. And I want to CCTV the wastewater lines every year. So this shows me what I have, and if I want any more information on it, I can just double click on it and it's going to take me here. So as you can see, the components of asset task plan are very simple. I'm going to click the edit button here, and here I have that I want to jet the sewer lines, and this is the asset that I'm going to perform that task on, the wastewater lines, and this is the frequency that it's done. So to create a new one, all I need is a task, a location or a location feature, and whether or not there's any frequency or not. The other item that I have here is if something is wrong, I can have a result so that I can say that, let's say it needs repair or something like that. So in this case, let's say I'm jetting the wastewater lines, and I want to have that if I find a problem, I want to have it repaired. So how do I do that? Well, one of the first things you want to do is go to your PubWorks data, and under PubWorks data you go to category data, and you're going to go to results. And these are the results that I have so far in the system for asset task plans, so that when I go out and I set something up and I say I want something inspected, if it doesn't meet that inspection or what have you, I will have something that is a backup, such as a repair or what have you. So an example is I may go out and be inspecting my fire hydrants, and one of the results is I see that the fire hydrant needs to be painted. So I'm just going to put paint here, and so I'm going to save that, and then that allows me to use that in the future. So again, this is something that's very simple. You just have to plan ahead and have it in the system. let us set up what we just did there with adding the result to paint for fire hydrant inspection. So I'm going to go up here to work orders, and I'm going to go to my asset task plans, and I'm going to add that I want the fire hydrants to be inspected, and that I want as a follow-up task, if it fails, that they be painted if that is the situation. So let me first of all make sure that I have the task in that I want to default to for setting this up. So I'm going to go here to my tasks, and I'm going to locate, and one of the things I want to have is hydrant painting. So I have the hydrant in here, and also I am going to set one up where I do a hydrant repair, and I also have hydrant repair and servicing in here. So I am all set. If you didn't have it, then you're going to have to get the task in first. So I'm setting this up for hydrants now. I'm going to go to Add, and I'm going to go and say that I want them inspected every let's say 6 months. And so I'm going to pick here my fire hydrants, and I'm going to say recurring, and I'm going to say every 6 months. And I'm going to save this. Now I'm going to go to Edit, and I want to add some results. So I'm going to go here to Add Result, and I'm going to say that I want it to be painted. So I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to go here to my follow-up tasks, and there's nothing in there. Well, why is that the case? Well, that's because I don't have painting associated fire hydrants, and I do not have a repair associated with a fire hydrant. Again, you have to set up the combination of task and asset for everything that you want in PubWorks work orders. So again, it's a little bit tedious at first to sort of start off, but it takes very little time. And then once it's in there, it's permanently in there, and you don't have to be doing anything in the future. And let me just show you how easy it is to set something like this up. So I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to start over here and enter work order task plan. And let's just set up on an ad hoc basis that I want my hydrants to be painted, and the feature is fire hydrant, and this is going to not have a frequency. It's just going to be ad hoc as I see this as an issue. So I'm going to just save this. I don't need to worry about results or anything, because I'm going to only use this for when an inspection says that it needs to be painted. Also, I may say that it needs to be repaired, so I'm going to need to set that one up also. So let me add here. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put in that hydrant repair / servicing, and the feature is fire hydrants. And again, I don't worry about the results, and I don't worry about the frequency, and I'm just going to save this, and I'm going to close out of this. I am now going to go back to the asset task plan for hydrant inspections. So I'm going to go here, asset task plan. I'm going to quickly go to my list view, and I'm going to look up inspections here for fire hydrants. And here I have, now I want to add 2 follow-up tasks for when I do this. So I'm going to go here and go to Edit, and I'm going to add a result, and one is that I see that it needs to be painted. So I'm going to click Paint here, and I'm going to go to the follow-up task here, and the drop down now has paint. Remember, before it didn't have anything there. So now that I added that asset task plan for painting hydrants, it's in here. And now let me go in and add a new result here, and this one is going to be that it needs to be repaired. And I'm going to say that when it needs to be repaired, then the task is hydrant repair and servicing, and I'm going to save this. So now when I go out and do inspections, on that list I can then, if one fails, I can say it either needs to be painted or that needs to be repaired. And I'll show you that on a work order in just a second here. Now let's look at how these asset task plans work with a work order. I'm not going to show you all the ins and outs of a work order. We've done a recent video on that that's available on the support site. But let's just look here briefly at sort of an overview of how it is. And so I'm going to go to one that I just put in. So I have here my inspections for these fire hydrants that need to be performed every 6 months. I'm going to go here to edit, and I'm going to put in a work day of today, and I'm going to just say that these were all done. And I'm going to go here, I need some time in for these people, so let's say it took them 8 hours to do everything they needed to do. And before I leave, I'm going to say that this fire hydrant on Neptune Lane, which was not okay, but it actually it needed to be painted. So I'm just going to put in paint here, and I'm now going to save this. And if I now go to my work view items, that everything that needs to be done, notice that I can't close this work order now because I still have something that needs to be done, and that is I need to paint that hydrant. So that came about from the fact that I have an asset task plan that allows me to say that this hydrant needs to be painted if it fails the inspection. So what else can I do with this? I'm going to just go in here and click Edit now, and I want to add a a service request to this work order. So if I go here to Add Service Request on this work order, and let's say I had somebody call in about a water leak on a fire hydrant, and that's this one right here, and I'm just going to say I want to attach this, and I need to assign a task to that service request. So I need to tell them what I want to have done. So let's say that I told them that I wanted to do a task, and I wanted them to exercise the valves. Well, notice that this line now, where it says Add to Work Orders, is lined out, and if I tried saying that I wanted this service request to be handled by exercising the valves, I'm going to get this little pop-up here, and basically it says that my task for that service request doesn't match the tasks that I can have into PubWorks for that type of asset, in this case hydrants. So again, this is where you have to have a unique asset task plan for every combination of asset and task. So if I wanted to say that I wanted the valves exercised on this hydrant as a response to that service request, I would need to set up an asset task plan to exercise valves on the hydrants. So I'm just going to click OK here, and instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want on that particular item, I want it to be repaired. So let's just say that I'm going to repair it, and I'm going to go up here and click on that service request, and I'm going to add it to the work order. And because I have an asset task plan to repair hydrants, this allows me to add it to that work order. And so now if I go to that work order, notice that not only do I have to paint this hydrant which failed the inspection, but I've added now this service request to this work order because I have the proper asset task plan. So to review, looking at asset task plans, go to work orders, asset task plan. It's very easy. You just go to add, you select your task that you want to link to either a location or a location feature. You give it either a recurring time frame or ad hoc, which would be none. And you also will give it any results that you want, such as what we did for hydrants, where if it fails an inspection, it's going to either be painted or possibly repaired. Also, one thing we didn't cover, but you can do, is you can tie this to a specific asset. So if I only wanted a particular hydrant to be inspected or something like that, I could just click this and select that particular hydrant. As an example of this, I'm just going to go here, say that I want to be on Neptune Lane, and then when I do that, I'll have a drop down of everything on Neptune Lane. I'm going to say that hydrant 30 fits this, and so if I do it this way, then it's just going to pick this one asset, and I can have a special inspection or something like that. If this is a problem asset, then I can set up a special inspection schedule for this. Thank you for joining us today. And again, if you have any questions about this, please email support@pubworks.com. Thank you.